I'm Travis Kress with Alabama Cooperative Extension System. I'm a commercial horticulture agent. I wanted to discuss drip irrigation calculations to calculate how much run time you need for your field. The first thing we need to know when setting our irrigation scheduling in this calculation is to figure out our row feet. If we don't know how many row feet we have, but we know how many acres we have, we can take 43,560, the amount of square feet in an acre, divide by our row space and the distance between your rows, and that will equal your row feet. Take that row feet, multiply it by your acreage, and that will tell you how many total row feet you have that you'll be irrigating at a time. Then we need to determine amount of area irrigated. Even though the footprint may be an acre, we're not fully irrigating the whole entire area. We're only irrigating what's under the plastic. So we need to determine how much we're actually irrigating under the plastic. So on average, 2.5 feet is our bed width average, but you need to measure your bed width to be the most accurate. But we take our row feet that we determine, multiply by the bed width, and that's going to equal our amount of area irrigated. We take the amount of area irrigated, divide that by 43,560, and that's going to be our acreage of our area that will be irrigated. It takes 27,007 gallons of water to equal 1 inch of water per acre. That's typically what we're shooting for in a week. All plants on average need about 1 inch of water per acre a week. So we take the 27,007 gallons of water, multiply that by our area irrigated, and that's going to equal how many gallons we need on our area to equal the 1 inch of water. Then we need to look at our drip tape that we'll be using. The information we need off the drip tape will have a gallons per minute per 100 feet rating. For example, 0.45 gallons per minute per over 100 feet. So then we take our row feet, divide that by 100 to match our drip tape rating because it's gallons per minute over 100 feet. That will give us the units of 100 feet per row, and then we're going to multiply that by the flow rate of our drip, and that will equal our output in gallons per minute of how many gallons per minute are going out across our area irrigated. Then we take our gallons needed, divide that by the output in the gallons per minute, and that's going to equal our minutes of irrigation runtime per week. Then we can take those minutes, divide by 60, and that will give us the hours of runtime per week. Let's now work through an example. Here's what we know. We have row spacing of 5 feet from our center of bed to center of bed. We have 33 rows that are 264 feet long. Our drip tape is 0.45 gallons per minute over 100 feet. We measured our bed width and they came out to be 2.5 feet wide, and we needed 27,007 gallons for 1 inch of water per acre. So we can take our 43,560, divide by 5, and that equals 8,712 row feet per acre. For this example, we're only going to be looking at 1 acre. If we had 2 acres, we would take the 8,712, multiply that by 2 to determine the amount of row feet that we have over those 2 acres. Or we could take our rows, 33, multiply by the feet, and that will also equal our row feet, 8,712 row feet. So we take our row feet, 8,712, multiply by our bed width, the 2.5, and we find out that we are irrigating 21,780 square feet. Take the 21,780 square feet of our area irrigated, divide that by 43,560, the amount of square feet in an acre, and we find out that we are irrigating a half an acre. We take our half acre, multiply by the 27,007 gallons that we need, and then we find out we need 13,503 gallons over our half acre to equal our 1 inch of water per week. Then we take our row feet, divide by 100 to get how many units of 100 we need. So for this example, we end up with 87.12 units of 100. We take our units, 87.12, multiply by the gallons per minute rating of our drip tape over 100 feet, and we find out we're putting out 39.2 gallons per minute over our irrigated area. Then we take our 13,503, divide by 39, and that equals our minutes of irrigation needed per week to have 1 inch of water over our area. Then we can take the 344, divide by 60, and we find out we need to be irrigating 5.7 hours per week. Then we can break that down over the days. Divide by 6 if we wanted to irrigate 6 days a week. We could take what we find out we need to add in that one day, split it by 2, and do a morning irrigation and an afternoon irrigation. But at the end of the week, it all needs to add up to 5.7 hours per week. If you have any questions or need any help working through calculations, you can contact your commercial horticulture agent at your local extension office. Thank you.